right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Home Church Live. I'm glad that you're hanging out with me on a Saturday morning. If you're watching this later, thank you. I appreciate you. I love you. I want to know right down in the comments right now. How you feeling? How you doing? It's been a long week. I know it's been a long week for us. It's something about like coming out of a break, getting back into the routine. Things sort of pile up for you. It feels good to be back into your routine. At least it was for me. I love family. I love the break, but man, we were so busy with baby Stella's birthday and people here for Thanksgiving and trying to entertain people and setting up for Christmas and just all of the stuff. Matter of fact, are you feeling some of the Christmas vibes too? Like, what's your favorite? What's your go-to? What's the go-to song? What's the thing you're like, that's the song that gets me in the mood, gets me going. I'm ready to go, ready to sing the night away. I'm ready to put up the Christmas decorations. How you feeling? I want to check in with you. Let me know. Give me one word to describe how you're doing, and let us be here to support you as we go along this. We're going to talk about a good story today. We've been unpacking listening. How do I become a good listener, a better listener? You ever have somebody when you're sharing a story, you're sharing maybe some intimate moments, maybe you're really opening yourself up, you're being real vulnerable with someone, and you share the story of you got hurt, you did something terrible, you made a bad decision, and they one up you. Maybe it's not bad, maybe it's good. Maybe you caught this amazing fish, you shot this amazing deer, you went on this amazing duck hunt, or you accomplished this great thing, or you created this great photography or this great piece of art, and all of a sudden they've got one better. They did something a little bit bigger. They did something a little bit better. They had one a little bit larger, and then all of a sudden they've got to continue to outdo you. How does that make you feel? Come on, talk to me in the comments as well. How do you feel in that moment when someone has to outdo you? They've got to go above you. They've got to tell you a story a little bit better, a little bit scarier, a little bit worse. You maybe broke your ankle on the trampoline, but man, they fell out of a 25-foot story building and all they broke was their leg. Yeah, they just gotta one up you, one every single time. How's that make you feel? Probably doesn't make you feel good. Doesn't make me feel good. I don't feel heard. I don't feel listened to. We were talking about this past Wednesday, and one of our friends here were like, I just walk away. I'm just like, okay, you're cool, and I walk away. I'm like, yep, that's basically how you feel. So how do I become a better listener? We're gonna talk about that. Genesis chapter 37 tells this amazing story. I love good stories. I do. I'm constantly asking, probing questions. I want to learn people's history. I want to learn, like, how did you and I end up in this moment right here, right now? How did we end up here? What brought you to this place? I have a neighbor, Mr. Don. Mr. Don is amazing, and he always has a story. Matter of fact, he always has several stories, multiple stories, and they're going to be layered on top of one another. But if you have a subject, if you want to start the conversation about something, there will be a story. And this has happened more times than I want to actually admit to. But Tiff will be getting dinner ready, and she'll be like, it's going to be ready in 5 minutes. And I haven't done my weekly, daily routine of joining our neighbors outside for just a quick little hello and gathering. And honestly, sometimes it's usually some of my only physical contact with other humans outside of my wife and my family. And so I like to sneak out there and see how the guys are doing and hear the latest gossip of the neighborhood. And I'll go outside and I'll be like, baby, I'm going to be right back. I'm just going to poke my head out. I'm going to say hello for a minute. I'm going to be right back. And more times than not, right back never happens, because Mr. Don has a story that he's got to tell me. And every time he'll say, I know you got to go, but one more. One more. Let me just tell you this real quick. Mr. Don is a great storyteller. Having people who tell stories who always have to outdo your story doesn't feel great. Genesis 37, we get the beginning pieces of the story of a man named Joseph. Now, later on, Joseph's life is Joseph. Why was that so hard? I don't know. But Joseph's life has these like really neat beginnings, and we know where it's going to go. He's going to become second in command under Pharaoh, one of the most mighty men in the entire world. He makes Pharaoh the most wealthy, richest, just the guy. He helps make Pharaoh what Pharaoh was going to become. He saves all of Egypt and what will become the children of Israel, the Hebrew people. He saves all of his siblings, his parents. He saves everybody because of his wisdom and his insight. But that glorious, amazing pinnacle of his life had these very different looking beginnings. I gotta be honest, the Bible doesn't say this, and I'm probably inflecting a lot of feelings and emotions into this, and we're gonna talk about that here in just a second, but this guy kind of comes off as like a spoiled kid. If you've got multiple siblings, the youngest one always gets jacked up somehow, don't they? Somewhere along the line, mom, dad, grandma, whatever, they just like get really soft and they give the last one whatever they want. I watched my little brother, if he's ever watches, I love you, but you got four-wheelers and PlayStations and new shoes, and I was just like, I ate bologna sandwiches. Like, what's up with this? Somewhere along the line, the last one gets everything, and Joseph, even though he's not the last one, he is the favorite one. This is a son of Israel's old age. He is so happy about this son. He had this son with his favorite wife, basically. That's a whole nother story we could unpack. And he gives this guy a coat. He has him a coat made of many colors. And man, we've all seen the Sunday school lessons about Joseph's coat of many colors and all the things. But he was a bit of a brat. Maybe not a brat. Maybe that's being a little too harsh on Joseph, but he comes off a little spoiled. He's constantly going out to his brothers, the older kids, who are probably doing a bunch of stuff they're not supposed to. We've all been there, running back to dad, telling on all his brothers in the field. Here he comes with his little coat. And in chapter 37, we see he just crosses a line. He crosses a line that ends up bringing him into all of kinds of places that God turns and God redeems and God uses to make him the man that he's going to be. But this dreamer, the dreams that bring him to this pinnacle have this place that doesn't start off so well. So Joseph begins to tell his brothers about this dream, about these sheaves of wheat that raise up and bow down to him. And they're like, whoa, bro, time out. Listen, we already don't care for you. You're running and telling dad on us. You're telling dad about our tricks, about our games that we're just trying to keep ourselves busy out here. We're brothers. That's what boys do. We're just messing around with one another, and you go tell dad. You show up with your shiny little coat. Can't wait to rip that thing off of you. And now you're saying that you're going to be the youngest is going to be raised above us, and we're going to bow down to you? Man, get out of here with that. Then he goes and tells dad. He's like, Dad, I had this dream. In this dream, the stars and the sun and the moon come and bow down to me. And even Pops is like, maybe I've messed this up. Maybe I've given him a little too much. Hey, yo, dreamer, you and your dreams. You need to, me and your mom and your brothers, we're all going to come and bow to you. I love you. You're my favorite. You got my jacket that I gave you, but like, we're going a bit too far. And I had this moment to become a better listener when I'm with people and I want to really listen to them. We've talked about all kinds of tips and tricks. One of them is to not put in your personal experiences into their story. Don't one-up them as I whack my mic. Don't one-up them. Bad part about being a Cajun, we talk with our hands. If we tie our hands behind our back, I would not be able to talk to you right now. But don't one-up them. Don't try to tell them a better story or tell them your experiences or tell them what you would have done. Don't, because it makes people feel unheard and unlistened. And in this moment, I have a feeling that Joseph is learning these early lessons of how to interpret these dreams. He was given this vision by God, a nugget that was just for him. This was personal. This was intimate. This was something given from God to him to hold on to carry him through the tough moments, to propel him to a future, to make him move into what God had for him. But no one else could relate because they could only relate to that dream, to that story through their own personal experiences. To his brothers, he was just the young brother, the spoiled brat, the favorite of their father. They're working hard in the field and he's chilling out at home with dad. He keeps tattling on them. He keeps popping up anytime that he wants to when they're trying to be out there working. They've had enough of him. They have literally had so much enough of him and now his dreams and his spoiledness. They are literally willing to kill him, to frame that he was murdered, and to sell him off into slavery. That is how frustrated, upset, and done with him. They could not relate to his story, to his dream, because in their personal experiences, he was the spoiled brother. For dad, he was just the kid that clearly he felt like, maybe I've given you a little too much. Maybe I've let you stay up one too many nights too late. Maybe I've given you one too many personalized gifts. Maybe I've allowed you to come and tattletale one too many times because I'm relating to you as my son, my favorite son, a son that I love, but still my son. And now you're saying, I'm going to bow down to you? I can't relate to that. God's going to give you things in your life that you will have a choice. Am I going to respond and relate to this dream, to this thing, to this vision, to this purpose through my own personal feelings, through my own personal experiences? If I did that, I'm a failure. I'm literally everything that people said was going to happen when we came to New Orleans has happened. And I don't think it's because they were prophets. It's just because we have made some bad choices and some things have not worked out, and life just happens sometimes. It doesn't matter what you do. And I could relate to the vision, to the dream, to the purpose that God has put on my life through those personal experiences, or I could choose to have faith. I could choose that God is greater than my problems, through my circumstances, and through my issues. He is greater than what is in front of me. He is greater than all of the naysayers in my life. And if God has spoken something over me, then I'm going to lean into that. Do not relate to your story. Do not relate to God through your personal experiences. He is greater. He is above it all. And yes, we can make decisions that will lead us down a path, and one could probably debate that Joseph didn't have to be thrown in a pit. Joseph probably didn't have to be sold into slavery. He didn't have to be put into the prison. He didn't have to go through all of these terrible things that he went through. But these were actions. These were things that happened in his life that God redeemed to create in him the man that would save all of Israel and all of Egypt. But we can also choose a better, maybe easier path sometimes. Maybe they're not easier. Maybe we have to go through things, and we will go through things. And it's in those things that resiliency is built up, lessons are learned, and we are created into these magnificent humans that accomplish really amazing things. And God redeems all of our story. But what I can't do, if I'm going to listen to God, if I'm going to listen to the words He's speaking over my life, is relate to those words through my past experiences. The future is brighter. The future is better. And I'm speaking over you that the words that are being spoken over your life are good, positive, or uplifting, or full of purpose and vision. He has a great life plan for you. I want that for you as well. Let me pray over you as we all strive to become better listeners. Father, help us. Thank you first for this opportunity. Thank you that I can help reach people with this word, with just a simple turning on of a camera and internet. I thank you for that opportunity, that we can connect together as humans across this world. I also thank you for your word. Your word is right. Father, I thank you that we can relate to you through faith. You have given us this tool to connect with you that gives us access to purpose and vision, strength and power. I speak blessings over your people. We will become better listeners of you, better listeners of each other by not relating to stories through our own personal past experiences. We will practice faith that you are bigger than the circumstance, you are bigger than the situation, you're above it all. Earth is your footstool, Father. I speak blessings over your people. In Jesus' name, thank you. Thank you for hanging out with me today. I love you. One favor, go to our website. Home Church 2:17 comes from Acts chapter 2, verse 17. Your young people will have dreams. Your old people will have visions. I'm messing it all up. Okay, it's Saturday morning. Go read it. It's an amazing. That's where we get 2:17. It's not just made up numbers. Home Church 2:17, because we believe that is the vision of the church. We gather in homes. We have an amazing meal. We worship together, and we open the Word of God. And we allow it to grow. And Home Church is a community of home-based churches where we empower those leaders to gather their circle of influence, to have an amazing meal, enjoy worship, and unpack the Word, grow closer to each other and closer to God, and we grow closer every single day. Come read our story. Read how my wife and I ended up here in New Orleans, our history, now 20-year history in ministry, and let us know your story. There's a place there you can submit prayer requests, or you can just let us know how your story's going, how we can help support you. We need to connect you with the church community, either here locally or around the country or around the world. We want to help do that. I love you. I appreciate you hanging out with me. You matter. Hit the like button. It helps us out a ton. We'll see you on the next one. God bless you.
Smash that like and subscribe.